Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today in this video I'm going to discuss about Power App component with action property type. In my last video I have already explained you about the function event. Okay, so today we take an example with action property type. So let's go and create a component. Okay, so I'm going to create one component with function. So uh, I can I can explain you the difference between function and uh, action property type. Okay, so let me create one component. So component with action. Okay, and here I'm going to create one action type. Okay, and I'm going to change this to action. So I'm going to create one parameter. So this is a first number and I'm going to take data type as a number. Create. Okay, and then create. I'm going to do same thing with another component just to showcase you the difference. Function component with function, and this would be the function type, and then change this to function. Okay, and going to create one parameter as a first number and change data type to a number. Okay, and create. So first thing, if you notice like for action we don't have an input and output definition, we have only return type. Okay, we have only return type. If I go and show you with the function, okay, in function we have this input and output definition. Okay, so this is the first difference between the action. We don't have an input and output definition with action property type. Now the second would be, if I go action type and if I go and create one global variable, uh, global plus, and my parameter name is first number, so we can create. It is not giving me an error. Okay, and if I go to a function, if I do same thing, okay, why it is text, let me, okay, let me this to, if I make this number, then again it will give me error, I know. Okay, so now you can see it is giving me error. Why? Because we can't create any variable inside the function. Okay, inside the function property type, whereas we can create any variable inside the action. Okay, so this is the difference between action and function property type inside the component. Okay, so now I'm going to remove this. Okay, so I just created to showcase you. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add one text box here and make this border as solid. Okay, and I'm going to use that variable. Okay, my variable is global, which I created here, and what I'm doing, it will keep adding whatever I input from the screen. Okay, so now if I go to screen and add new screen, and if I add that component with action, okay, and my component is added. Now let me add one button to call this component. So this is my button. What I'm going to do, I'm going to calling that component. To call the component, I need to write my component name dot action, and my action property is action type. It is giving me error because I need to pass this parameter first number, and this is a parameter. Okay, and one interesting thing, let me go back to component, and if I go to this and if I select first number, so this is a description, and that description is coming, and if I write something, let's say using this to add inside the global variable. Okay, and if I save, it will change definitely the state. And now if I remove this, okay, if I remove this, then now you can see that description is coming, okay, with IntelliSense. So always try to enter the description, so maybe another developer can easily understand why we write this component, what is the purpose. Okay, so now let me add one. Now if I play this, so you can see it is showing one. If I keep adding, so it is keep adding, okay, inside that variable. Okay, and let's suppose if I want to use that variable, okay, here, can we use? No, we can't use. Let's say I'm going to create local, okay, local variable, and if I want to use that global variable, then we can't, because it is giving me error. We can't use whatever variable we create inside the component, we can't use that variable in our screen. Okay, so let me create another screen. Okay, oh, I deleted. Let me duplicate this. Yeah, it is saved too much time. Okay, so now you can see if I play again, so it is giving me 9. Okay, and if I go and click on this, then it is giving me 1. Why? Because that component is associated with that screen only. Okay, but let's suppose here, because here I am calling component with action underscore 2. If I, what I do, if I put 1, okay, then let's see what happened. It is not giving me. Why? Because you can't see any variable is updating. Why? Because we are calling that component which is inside the screen 4. So we click 2 times. Okay, so now you can see that is a 11. So let's say I am not clicking right now, so that global variable value is 11. Okay, and if I go to screen 4, okay, and 1 2 3 4 5, I click 5 times, so here value should be 16. So now you can see 16 is this value. Okay, so it means we, because in real time project we have some scenario, we want to keep the value inside the variable, and we want to use that value um, inside the component, and we don't want to change. So that time we can use component with action. We can declare the variable, and we can store that value uh, inside that variable, and maybe further we can use according to the requirement. Okay, so this is the first thing. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to my component again, and I'm going to add button. Okay, so let's say this is button A, and let me add another variable, another button, and this is button B. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to notify, and then self.text, and if I go and do this, okay, and if I go to screen, let me increase. So now you can see it is giving me button B, and it is button A. Okay, so let's suppose, because right now this is happening um, through the component, but what if I want to call that functionality not through the component, but the button which I am using uh, inside the screen, not inside the component. I want to call that button from screen button, not from the component. Then how we can do? Okay, so in that scenario, what we need to do, so let me write switch statement. Okay, so before this, let me create one variable, uh, and I'm writing variable name is let's say first text. Okay, and then that's it. Save, save. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch. Okay, and then first text. Okay, so let's say if I pass a, then I want to call button. And what is the button a? Okay, button a. Then I will call this. Okay, and if someone pass text as a b, then I want to call this button. Okay, and then I will type something and then this, and then close the switch statement. That's it. Okay, now if I go to, so it's giving me error because that second parameter I make as required. Okay, so now here what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass a, and then I will play. So now you can see through screen button I am calling this component button. Okay, which is not possible earlier. Okay, through action we can't, through event we can't. Okay, but through this action, through this action we can, but other property type we can't do this type of things. Okay, so which means like through action, if I declare inside the component any like a custom property as a action, then we can write n number of code here. Okay, we can, because in function we are just doing the manipulation things and we are storing some logic, because in my last video I have explained you through switch statement we I was using switch statement for role purpose. Okay, through action we can also do, and we can declare the variable and we can trigger anything whatever we are calling or we are doing inside the button. Okay, so these type of things we can do through action. Okay, and in real time project, let's say we have some banking sector or financial sector where user login and like in different screen we are using something, but we are storing some value, and at last through that value we are calling different conditions. Okay, so in that scenario what we can do, we can create one action, we can create one component with action property type, and we can create some button inside that button. Okay, and we can create that variable. So what happened, like we'll keep calling that component, the same component. Like in this screen we are calling different component. Okay, but what I will do, like in this screen, like screen 4_1, I will again call this component with action_1. Okay, and I will pause that whatever value that user is doing. Okay, and then through that value, whatever value is exceeding, or value is decreasing, increasing. Okay, value is negative. Okay, value consists this. So through this we can call the different statement. Okay, like button, and we can call further action. Okay, so that's how that much of things we can do through the action property type. Okay, okay, so thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel. See you later.